Hey everybody, welcome back to the Wolf Pit with another episode of What Are We Eating? Today we're going to try Gordon Ramsay's
Beef Wellington has to be the ultimate indulgence, as well with beer. One of my all-time favourite main courses, as well with beer. And it would definitely be on my Last Supper menu. My version, as well with beer.
Well, we're not exactly trying Gordon Ramsay's Beef Wellington. Hopefully, we might be trying the next best thing. That's right, we're going to be trying Gordon Ramsay's Wellington Bites, which consist of tender beef and mushroom duxelle wrapped in a flaky golden pastry and comes in a 10-ounce box and costs $6.97. This is what they're supposed to look like when they're done. Hopefully they do look like this when they're done because they look delicious. Here's a list of ingredients, and there's two ingredients I highly doubt that Gordon Ramsay would use: margarine and artificial butter flavor. There's 2.5 two-piece servings per box. Each serving has 330 calories, 24 grams of total fat, 12 grams of saturated fat, no trans fat, 20 milligrams of cholesterol, 820 milligrams of sodium, 22 grams of carbohydrates, 1 gram of fiber, 3 grams of sugars, and 8 grams of protein. I'm assuming these are pretty new because there's only 9 reviews. So out of 9 reviews, the Gordon Ramsay Wellington Bites received 3.7 stars out of 5. The most helpful positive review first off said these are delicious, but then went on to recommend lining the bottom of your air fryer to prevent the pastry from cooking into the slats. The most helpful negative review said they were salty, soft, and wet. I'm not even going to comment on that. Guys, get your minds out of the gutter. You can cook the Wellington Bites in an air fryer or a conventional oven. I'm going to use my air fryer. Here's our Wellington Bites right out of the freezer and right out of the box. And now they go into the air fryer at 375 degrees for 18 minutes or until the center reaches 165 degrees. And then you let them rest for 2 to 3 minutes. Now here's our Wellington Bites after air frying at 375 degrees for 18 minutes. And of course, I didn't follow the recommendations of lining the bottom of the air fryer because I'm a rebel. I don't follow directions or recommendations. And that's exactly why the pastry baked right into the slats of the air fryer. I'm an idiot. So we shanked our first Wellington Bite like a prison snitch, which we had to do cautiously because the bottom was soft and wet. But the top of the pastry was nice and crispy. So into the old pie hole and down the gullet it went. And definitely make sure you let them rest for a minimum of 3 minutes because the inside is like molten lava. When I first bit through the pastry, like I said earlier, it was nice and crispy, but it was also very light. But then, once you reach the inside of the Wellington Bite, that's when the party started. You get a big left hook of savory beef combined with the flavors of the pungent, earthy mushrooms. It was delicious to the point I couldn't wait to shove the other piece in my pie hole. And once the second half was halfway down my gullet, we had to go in for another one. The filling was so moist, it made the bottom of the pastry soggy. To the point, the bottom dropped out. Look at that save. But in this case, when I say soggy, it's not a bad thing. If you, the people, remember, when I ate a Freight Bento's pie out of the can, that pastry was also soggy, but it was also delicious, mixed with the contrast of the crispy pastry on the top and the soggy gravy-filled pastry on the bottom. These are like Lay's potato chips. You can't eat just one. But although the flavor is phenomenal, the richness might get to you if you eat too many of them. The meat filling inside, although delicious, it wasn't nearly as tender as I expected it to be. I was actually surprised to find a couple little pieces of gristle. And I did not taste the prosciutto that a traditional beef Wellington is supposed to be wrapped in. They could have diced some up with the beef to make it more authentic. And the reason I didn't taste it is because there's none in the ingredients. So here's my thoughts on Gordon Ramsay's Wellington bites. I definitely don't think they're a bargain at $6.97 or $1.40 a bite. Although not a bargain, I'd have to say they're somewhat fairly priced. If they priced them at $5.94, like most of the other Chef Ramsay meals, that would have been a bargain in my opinion. But the bottom line, the meat could have been a little bit better quality, but they were overall very delicious. So I'm going to give Chef Ramsay's Wellington bites a 7 out of 10. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.